Sports bettors, I have three incredible player props. You're not going to want to miss these three. And let's go ahead, let's get into it. So you can see the Packers-Giants game is already live. You can browse odds for free. So this is the player receptions market. But any market you want to look at for either live betting, for player props, money lines, whatever, or pre-match, before the game starts, you can browse odds for free and look for discrepancies. So how I like to use this screen is I'll look for okay, where do sportsbooks have differences in their receptions line? You can browse every sportsbook in the market, set them all up, hundreds of sportsbooks, all updating odds in real time to kind of see where their lines are set and where their lines don't match, right? So you can kind of follow along in the live lines too and look for some discrepancies. But I'm going to be sharing with you three incredible player props. So again, it's completely free to browse odds on OddsJam, any bets you want to look at. And the purpose of this YouTube channel is really to show you how to use this real-time market data, hundreds of sportsbooks updating odds in real time, to make better betting decisions, right? And kind of the first thing you need to realize is you got to get good prices, right? You have to get good lines. If you're placing a bet on, let's say, Metcalf to go over 5.5 receptions at minus 137 odds when there's sportsbooks offering plus 110, you're a horrible sports bettor. Even if he gets 10 receptions and you placed your bet on underdog fantasy at minus 137 odds, it's a horrible bet, right? And it's a horrible bet because you got ripped off. There's sportsbooks offering this line at plus 110. Beating the sportsbooks is all about, sportsbooks typically charge what? Like a 5-6% VIG, market edge, whatever you want to call it, juice. They juice their market 6% on player props. So all you need is to find enough value to beat the VIG, right? To get an edge and win in the long run. And that's never going to happen if you're not looking for value. If you're just blindly placing bets without line shopping, you're screwed. If you're the guy placing bets on this Will Disley over 2.5 receptions at plus 112 when you could be getting plus 140, you're foolish. Even if Bet365 isn't in your location, you're getting a horrible price. This is a horrible bet, right? If you want to make money. If you're just looking to have fun, probably not the right YouTube channel for you. But anyways, let's get into my first pick because it's ridiculous. So I'm on Marquez Callaway over 2.5 receptions. Look at the EV percentage of this bet picked up on the positive EV tool. So again, all this EV tool does, right, is it takes all this data from the market, millions of odds updating in real time. This is just one sport, one market. So what the positive EV tool does is it takes all this data, all this market information, and kind of looks for line discrepancies, right? It looks for where the value is mathematically. There's no BS. This isn't, Marquez Callaway, like his girlfriend, whatever, like did XYZ. He looked great getting off the bus, so bet is over. That's not the way OddsJam works. The way OddsJam works is it's treating every sportsbook kind of as an independent data point of where the line should be set and then hunting down the value, because every sportsbook sets lines independently. They can't keep all their lines in check 24/7. Like, this is just one market. FanDuel's already got to keep all this stuff in check. And when you have millions of odds on your sportsbook, you can't keep everything in check. So OddsJam does a great job at kind of presenting this data to you in a way that makes it very actionable to find sharp bets, right? Like Marquez Callaway, it's plus 126 on FanDuel. Caesars has it minus 163. DraftKings minus 135. Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker out there, is pricing this at minus 143. Pretty good indication there's some crazy things going on in this market. And you could either arb it, right? You could place a bet on both sides and earn a risk-free profit, or you could just hit the Callaway bet like I did, right? So that's my first bet that I ended up locking in. So hopefully you guys are able to tail it. The EV percentage is ridiculous. You bet $100 unit on it, your bet has $20.99 in profit margin. This is your profit margin. You want to know how to get rich sports betting. You find bets with a 20% edge. This game is today. It starts in an hour. You're getting a 21% return on capital in 4 hours, right? That's your profit margin. If you even had a 2% edge and could return that on capital 4% or in 4 hours, 2% every 4 hours, yeah, it compounds pretty quickly. So the second pick I have is Gabe Davis over 3.5 receptions. So I ended up locking in that play as well. So a lot of bets currently open. We got the Falcons money line for 12.50 from a previous video. But we have Gabe Davis over 3.5 receptions. I hit this as well. So another positive EV play, right? Really as a positive EV better, it's a very rational way of betting on sports. So those are the first two picks we have. But, it's like you're not trying to make up some crazy system, right? People always overcomplicate sports betting. Like, don't you have to consider, Tom Brady got divorced in your bet? And it's like, no. You just trust the math. You just trust the markets, right? These sports books take millions of dollars of bets individually on each NFL game this weekend. They're pretty efficient markets, right? Efficient betting markets. So, when you're just blindly betting into a market like, I think the Rams are going to win, I'm just going to bet them on the first sports book I see, you're assuming that you're smarter than the millions of other people who have placed that bet, right? Or who are betting into that market, right? Which is a terrible way of betting on sports, right? Whereas as a positive EV bettor, you're just looking for value. You're looking for bets that are on sale, that are mispriced, that should be at much worse odds. You're using market information to look for discrepancies, right? Every sportsbook is an independent data point of where the line should be set. And when you have 1, 2, 3 sportsbooks telling you, hey, this should be minus 163, minus 135, minus 143, and you're getting plus 126, you don't even really have to know that much about football to know this is a great bet. So Gabe Davis play as well. Final play I went with is St. Brown, 70-plus receiving yards. So I also locked in that play, which I'm pretty excited about for $200, 11.2% profit margin. So these three bets alone have 71.26 in profit margin. I'm just trying to place as many positive EV bets as I can on a daily basis. There's a bunch of tools on OddsJam, right? Here you can see there's the arbitrage tool. You could make risk-free money betting on Callaway over 2.5 receptions at plus 126 on FanDuel, and you can get the under at plus 105. If you had $600 in each of your accounts, you can make a risk-free 7% return on capital. Absolutely ridiculous, right? So, absolutely ridiculous. Tons of opportunity out there. NFL lines are flying around. What else do we currently have open? So we can take a look at that. So on Thrive Fantasy, Antonio Gibson, under 45.5 rushing yards. Marquise Brown, over 5.5 receptions. That's a previous one we gave out. Breece Hall, over 2.5 receptions. Mike Evans, over 4.5 receptions. Previously gave out that. Kyler Murray, under 1.5 passing TDs. Metcalf, under. Raheem, over. Hayden Hurst, over. Lots of bets open. So hopefully, we can keep it going in the right direction. We're up currently since the start of football season in tracked plays, 17.3 Gs. On live streams, if you just tailed my bets on live streams, like you could literally tail in real time, you'd be up 6.3K. And we're just using like a few sports books, right? We're not doing anything complicated over here. So what I can do is just refresh the EV page. We can see if anything else is out there we want to dive in on. Geno Smith over 33.5 passing attempts. That seems like a pretty good one. But I think we'll call it a day for now. Hopefully this video was helpful. Any questions you have, comment down below. Let's make some frickin' money.